Hello and welcome to Peach Music. I'm Eric. This is Ben, my assistant. Today we're going to talk about what I learned today. And what I learned today, I'm going to tell Ben about, and you, is how to make your alt pop drums groove harder. And what we're going to do is we're going to use echo reflections from the snare drum to enhance the whole beat and make it bounce a little bit more. We're going to start off by just playing the intro to the song 1 Year After by Jordan May, a song that we're producing right now. Okay, so that's like the finished product. What do you think so far, Ben?
Oh, I think where we're really feeling that groove is in the 16th note. And I assume that's being made by the echo reflections of the snare drum, which sounds a bit modified. They don't sound like snare reflections.
You're exactly right. And I have it turned up a little bit in the mix, so it's super obvious. Let's listen to the drum kit as it is before we do our fix, and we'll sort of build into how we use that to make the whole thing bounce a little bit more. So this is what the track sounded like before. Okay, so they're pretty nice sounding drums. We had our friend Nich Gannon play on this track. We just wanted it to sort of bounce a little bit more on the 16th notes, to get a little bit more swing to the groove and a little bit more of that thing that you can't necessarily hear, but you can feel. We did this using the snare drum, and I'll show you how. First, let's just solo the snare drum. Now let's do this. Let's take our snare drum and let's add just a slap reflection to it. I'm going to turn off all the processing except for the reflections. What we did was we ran auxiliary bus number 26 to an auxiliary track, and we opened up an instance of Echo Boy, which is an echo plugin that we love. We set it for a 16th note slap. And so before we do anything to it, it just sounds like it's making the snare busy. But listen to what happens when I filter out using Logic's native EQ, all but really the low end, and it's centered here at, I don't know, about 80 hertz. We're filtering all the low end out, and that sounds like this.
So it sounds like you're going to enhance that. At least that's what I heard in the original mix, because what you filtered out there really sounds like the sort of pseudo kick that was really present in the original mix.
There's a thing that I hear a lot when I listen to a lot of modern pop that utilizes a lot of drum machines. I hear it in a lot of hip hop, a lot of R&B, where there's multiple kicks going on. Well, we recorded our drums live, and those multiple kicks, which in a lot of genres do such a good job enhancing the low end of the groove, without having to build up a bunch of samples, I wanted a way to give that impression, but still have our bedrock bass drum groove, boom, 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 boom. So what we've done is we've taken the reflections from our snare drum, we filtered out the low end, and then we're going to use the Waves Submarine plugin to bring out the sub bass in those snare reflections. Here are those reflections first without the submarine, and then with the submarine plugin turned on. It's subtle, but you can hear that those sub-bass frequencies start to poke through from under that pseudo kick that we created from the snare. And so then what I did is I ran a second delay throw from the snare at the dotted eighths. I've processed it exactly the same way. Here's Echo Boy set to dotted eighths, and I've filtered out. I think I put the center of this frequency a little higher just so that the sub-bass frequencies that submarine would bring out would be a little bit different, and maybe have this one seat. I don't know if that made a difference or not, but if it sounds good, it is good. Then we used the same setting in submarine with both of these together. The snare sounds like this. Now check out how the snare and the kick interact with one another if I just solo the kick and the snare. So that's what we've done. We've taken these echoes from the snare and we filtered out the bass frequencies. We've added sub-bass frequency information using Waves Submarine to those reflections, and then we've mixed them into our beat. And so our drum beat now sounds like this. Let's hear that same thing in the context of the whole mix. And there you have it. What I learned today is a method for using echoes from your snare drum to add bounce and groove to your alt pop drum beat. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hope this proves useful to you. And we'll see you next time on What I Learned Today.